I am Vinnie Tortorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. It means one thing. It's Friday, and it's my favorite kind of Friday show. The call-in show. We're going to start off real quickly with my buddy, Mr. Chris Shaffer. Yeah.
Vinny, how you doing, man?
Oh, how's it going, man?
It's going. I'll tell you what, we have gotten bombarded with people asking for more of these.
Yeah.
And absolutely slammed.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, people are like, where are the call-in shows? A lot of things. Travel, there was a lot of travel between me and you, and I know that you're still traveling, and then a lot of people, Friday shows, we do luminaries. People call me, hey, Vinny, I have a book coming out. I have this, I have that. So when you run out of all that, you go, you know what? Let me get back to what people love. Let's do the call-in show, right? And we're going to do a bunch of them because people have been asking for them. This show is coming out next Friday. We're recording this on 8/27. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that our hearts go out to the families. This Catholic school shooting, these kids were in church praying, and a lunatic went in there and just started spraying bullets. It's just, it's been on my mind all day, and it would be wrong if we didn't mention it. I won't mention the asshole's name because no one should ever mention their names. We're not going to make you famous here, pal. It's just the way it is. But that is looming heavy today. I was on someone else's podcast earlier. That's how I found out. I was on the Tom Bernard show. I do that show from time to time, and they live right near where it happened. And man, just, like, folks, I guess a bit of a public service announcement here. If you feel like you need help, go get help. If you think, too many times with all of these shooters, we know after the fact, when we start hearing everything, it's like, yeah, we thought about calling the authorities, but we didn't. Let's start doing that. If you know how they say, if you see something, say something at the airport. Someone leaves a bag and walks away from it, you're supposed to tell. Let's do the same thing. A lot of times it could be family or friends or whatever. Let's just do it. And that's the last time I'm going to bring this show down today because we have some fabulous guests. Chris, who's up first?
I think our buddy Ty is coming up first. Ty, give me a thumbs up or a hang 10, however you want to do it in the camera, and we'll bring you on in. There he is. Ooh, we got both.
Hey, how we doing, everybody? Much aloha, everyone.
Ty, you have one of those voices that are made for radio. It really is. You have that kind of deep voice. I wish I sounded more like you.
I'll put it like this, Vinny. It's not my first rodeo or radio, to be real frank. I used to do podcasts and some radio stuff back in the day, lots of public speaking, interviews, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I just got used to it, and it's just kind of how I go, and this is how I normally talk. It's weird. It's hard to turn off good old radio voice sometimes.
You have a good, it's like a good tenor to it. It's like everything about it is just perfect. What type of work did you do? What put you in front of the mic?
So a lot of different things. 15 years in video games, whenever I made a new video game, the PR people would always send me down to go help launch it, go do a presentation on how it was made. I designed a pinball game from the ground up, for example. Gosh, what else did I do? Bejeweled Blitz, a very popular game made by PopCap. I made a Xbox version of a very popular game called Plants vs. Zombies. They fly me down to San Francisco and say, go do a bunch of interviews, which I had too much to drink, don't remember any of them, but apparently they were very good. And then the second real big part of it was being a celebrity impersonator for so many years. I got used to speaking in front of people and ad-libbing and just going like this constantly. Interviews for I was on TV, radio, newspapers, all that kind of stuff. So you just kind of get used to it. And then finally, it was the big launch of a fitness brand I created for a five-star resort in Maui, and so they had me do all the PR for that.
All right, so I got to ask. I mean, who did you
Hit me.
impersonate? Who did you
All
impersonate?
right, it's Bono from YouTube.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. So I did it for about 10 years. I did it professionally. I would get hired by Microsoft, the Experience Music Project in Seattle, various other
Yeah, I can see
organizations.
you kind of have that Bono look. So you put the right clothes on, you the glasses, the whole thing. I can see Bono. Did you do the voice too, or just the look?
Yeah, got to do the voice, Vinny.
Wow. So you do it all.
I did it all. The only thing I couldn't do was sing, which was really sad. So they would have me doing some sort of lip sync stuff with people covering for me as well. So it was fun. It was a good time. I always use the budget for Christmas money, basically.
Hey, yeah, if you got it, flaunt it. Before we get it, Chris, remember that project you and I were talking about, the video game thing?
Mm-hmm.
Stay in touch with Ty. Ty, we need to talk to you off the air.
Heard and understood. Will do. I produced for 15 years. I was good at what I did. I made a lot of money for a lot of people besides myself.
Chris, we need Ty. We need Ty. Okay.
Yeah.
Before don't let him escape from the show. Get his info before the end of the show.
Oh, we got him. We got him.
All right. Oh yeah.
There's something. Chris, should I give a little insight to what we were talking about?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's get a scoop.
Okay. So when I first got to LA back in like 35 years ago now, and you probably heard me mention on the show, it was all about, I was looking to do child fitness because that's right. Back in the late 80s, I was distraught because I was teaching at Newman School and I was like, wait a minute, kids already, I could see kids did not look the way they looked. Right. So when I moved to LA, my big thing was to do children's fitness, and I got laughed out of every building, Disney, Nickelodeon. I got laughed out of every building. They were interested in children's fitness. They just weren't interested in how you would have to get there, which is, they wanted me to tell lies. And I said, well, I can't do that. That's just furthering a narrative that's not good. Right. Well, at the time, video games, not like we know them today, like when you bought like a disc, not even a disc. It was, you put the whole cartridge in. What was that, VHS?
It was a cartridge.
Yeah, you just put the cartridge in, they had those kind of things, right? And I wanted to do one of those. And I won't tell you the companies and all that, but I came up with this concept. I came up with the game. And the kids would get rewarded by getting a certain number of things right to move to the next level. But it all had to do with eating the right foods and doing some exercise. But the exercises weren't boring. It was like, at the time, it was, skating and others, just all kinds of different things that they had to do, that they could do, right? You can work on the farm, and move things around, whatever. And I got a couple of big companies halfway interested in it. But it always got dropped because that, as they say, Hollywood is a place for fabulous meetings, right? That's all. I mean, everyone, if you're in Hollywood, everyone's telling you how they met so-and-so's producer and blah, 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 blah. They're going to be a big star next week. And I had a lot of those meetings too. The bottom line is it never got done. Now we've moved ahead so far, and everything is being done with these video games. Right. Like, I look around, see these Mario Brothers, they're still going on. That was going on back then on a different level. So the idea is to take one of my ideas and then bring it to the next level. Right. Create these games.
Are you making that joke on purpose, Vinny?
What joke?
The next level.
Taking it to the next level.
Well, you understand what I'm saying. Right. half the time I have no idea what I'm saying. So that's why Chris is there. And just like you're writing shit down now, Ty, Chris is over there
Yeah.
writing stuff down too.
I get
And-
ideas that just pop into my head. So
Okay, are we viable here? Or what are we thinking?
yeah. So here's the deal: is what you're talking about, Vinny, is an old term we used to use in the gaming space, and it's called gamifying. And basically, gamifying is taking something that you may or may not want to do. For example, on the new training for a job, trying to learn a new language like Duolingo, something like that, and you're making it into a game, so it's much more engaging, much more palatable for your uh, your audience, right? And so the way you're going to go with this, which I would recommend, is you're going to go mobile platform, because basically it costs a couple of reasons. One, and the reason the cartridge thing didn't go through is because those were insanely expensive to produce. Insane.
Right.
So I mean, a consumer would pay $50 for one, and it would cost all in all done $40 to make.
You
Right.
can't make
So
money like that. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, not in a million years. But now with the digital distribution, you can actually do quite a bit of different things. In fact, I worked on a project called Xbox Live Arcade, and it was one of the originators in digital distribution. And what they would do is they would release small games by independent publishers onto the Xbox. I would produce and test and do everything for those guys, but they would reissue things like Pac-Man or Defender or whatever, and they would come up with some new what we call IP, and then that's how they would release it, because the barrier to entry was really low. So what we need is a really low barrier to entry, and what we're looking at there is you're looking at um, a mobile platform, or so you're
Mhm.
looking at Apple or Android, and we can do actually both via a system called Unity. I'm not going to get too into the weeds on this,
Yeah.
but
Let's not bore the
that's
audience. But is it? Look, the concept here is I have an idea, you know, and look, the school shooting today and all this, everyone always goes, it's video games. They're shooting up on video games or whatever,
no,
people,
no.
first person shooters and the whole thing. I don't know all I know is that if people can play games and shoot people up, people can play games and learn something. And I
Yep.
want to start with young kids.
That's a
Right.
great place to start. And I don't know if you know, I work in the school district. So I work in the cafeteria in the kitchen. I'm one of the kitchen managers. I won't say where I am, but I'm one of the cafeteria kitchen managers. And it's not video games. No way. It's social pressures, it's bullying, it's the outside influences. That's what's causing this stuff. Probably throwing a little anxiety, mental illness. The kids don't want to go to school because they're getting bullied. So now they're going to
Right.
do something about it. The trigger part. Oh, geez, I shouldn't have said that. The lever finally got pulled, and
Right.
here we are.
Yeah. So you know what? Let's do something positive. How about that? How about we do
Sounds about
something
right.
positive?
Let's do it.
So Ty, if I'm not mistaken, I've been seeing you on my it used to be called Twitter, now it's X. For a long time, we've gone back
Yep.
and forth. I've seen, and you were a trainer, or still are a trainer, or something.
I was a trainer for 10 years. I started up after I left tech. I made my passion my career, and I
Mhm.
became a personal trainer. And luckily, that opened the door for my now ex-wife and I to move to Maui for 10 years. And so I always worked at a gym out there. I had other jobs, of course, because when you work for a gym, it doesn't pay worth a doggone. So, but I was a spin instructor. I taught aerobics. I was a personal trainer, had a long list of clients that really enjoyed me, apparently, because they kept coming back, even though I told them not to. Um, and and then during COVID, for example, I went into the studio and I shot probably like you're doing. I shot a ton of class videos that people could do at home, and then weekly I would also host fitness videos that you could actually do with common household things. Like if you're going to do lunges, grab the big Costco size thing of laundry detergent and let's go. Stuff like that.
Well, good, and it's good that you're still out there. So, what
Mhm.
are we talking about today? What's on your mind today?
Well, I have a couple of things, Vinny, and I thought I might let you just pick. So, one, like I mentioned, I work for the school district kitchen. We can talk about the school diets, which please parents pack the lunches. That's all I'm going to say. I can go right into it. The other thing I thought it might be kind of interesting to tell my story a little bit about how I grew up as a fat kid, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and did this thing and trying to inspire people that, look, there's still hope. I mean, former fitness trainer, growing up as a fat kid, which I think a lot of us did, but still, so I'm not sure. The fun one I have is actually the story is, or the truth is I met my current girlfriend through you and Anna, believe it or not.
Wow.
So
You're
yeah,
powerful. Yeah.
I came with ideas, Vinny. I have a notebook and everything.
Oh, geez. Well, let's go with the school. Yeah, folks, Gina Grad, our good old friend Gina Grad, who was on this show for years, formerly of the Adam Carolla show. She wrote to me 3 or 4 days ago. And God, if I could find that text. Gina, I think they were doing a gag she's on a national radio show now, and that's why she can't do my show anymore. Here's the photo. She sent me this photo and she goes, we were doing a thing where we had to go into the school and actually eat the lunch. Here's what she sent me. Can you see that? All of those
let me see.
stuff is some kind of carbohydrate.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then there's like these French fries, and there's some kind of, she said that was ketchup, and she said it was all unbelievably, like, it's not edible. Like, because you cannot eat it, right? This is what we're serving kids, right?
Oh, it's worse. It's worse. Here, I'll give you the menu from yesterday and today.
Okay.
Breakfast. French toast sticks. What it sounds like. Flattened strawberry cream cheese bagels. Let's see here. What was the fruit? Oh, the fruit was the diced apple cups, which, that's fruit that's been canned and now is loaded in its own sugar as well.
Right.
Some form of juice. I forget which one it was. Doesn't matter. And then the healthiest thing we served yesterday was string cheese, which they consider a grain.
Hang on. The string cheese is the only protein I heard. There was no other protein.
100%. No, that was the only protein.
Wait, hold on. Ty, did you say they consider string cheese a grain?
That's correct. In our district, they do. I don't know how it is in others. Obviously, I can't speak for them, but they consider cheese. What's the other thing they consider a grain? Something else weird that they consider a grain, but they consider string cheese a grain. So it counts toward money that we get from the federal government. So now we can tell the federal government that we're meeting the dietary requirements by feeding the kids this food that they approved and half the time send us, and plenty of grains, and then offering a milk choice. That's not a joke.
How do they get cheese to be a grain? Like when Obama made pizza, what was it, a vegetable? What did he?
Tomato sauce, I think it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and then the grains made to make the the part, the bottom part of the pizza.
Yeah,
I guess you can say that's vegetation also, and so yeah. When I thought that was crazy when the Obama administration said, "Hey, yeah, pizza's a vegetable." I was like, okay, now they're calling string cheese under the Trump administration a grain.
they did it. To be fair, this is my district. I don't know how other districts operate. I just put that disclaimer out there, but yeah, that's 100% correct.
Is this a public school?
Yes, sir.
And is the milk real milk?
Kind of. So it's the white is 1%. It's either 1%. I think it's 1%. But then we're also required to offer a flavor choice of milk, and so that includes today strawberry and chocolate. And the strawberry is chocolate is chocolate. It's what it is. We all know what that is. Strawberry is right on par with that. And the white milk is the only thing I would even drink. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't drink it just because it's
Right.
milk. And I don't
So
need it.
that's the closest thing to anything nutritious in that,
Right.
that's as close as you're going to get. Because
100%.
string cheese can get it can be anything. It's kind of like that picture that Gina sent.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different.
Yeah. If you want to hear lunch was a dandy one today. Tacos. And if you've ever seen pictures, and you can Google a Jack in the Box tacos, there you go. Pizza, which we get 3 times a week, pepperoni or cheese. Again, now we have protein in the pepperoni, which God only knows if that's pepperoni, and then cheese. And then the crust is actually specially made with whole grains, which supposedly that fixes everything. And then we actually we had apple slices, fine. What was the edamame was the vegetable, along with here we go. The other vegetable was sweet potato fries. That's the vegetable.
You ever try any of it just to see what it tastes like?
I mean, when I was in Maui, I worked in restaurants all the time, and they asked you to try dishes just so you knew, so you could sell it. And so
Right.
I always try one thing, like one bite of thing. If I see it, I haven't tried it. I won't try the tacos. I cannot do it, because if you Google Jack in the Box tacos, you're looking at them. I can't do it. The pizza I've tried once or twice, atrocious. It doesn't taste like pizza. Mine's 1,000 times better. What else? Yeah, no, I try it. Just the fries, forget it. Those are awful.
Yeah, Gina was saying the same thing about the fries she was trying. So let's see, Jack, and
I'm sure you Google Jack in the Box all the time, but yeah.
yeah, this box. My phone's about to explode in my hand.
Your algorithm is going to be screwed for a while.
Okay, let's see. Let's see images. Yeah, they look. Yeah, it looks like grease is like coming through.
Yeah, that's. Yep.
Yeah, this. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I mean, the only kind of fast food I would ever have, and I was in California not long ago, and I was out in the middle of the desert, and I know exactly where it is, but there was an In-N-Out burger on the way there. I didn't even stop. It's like people go, "You ever going to fast food?" It's like, yeah, when I'm in California, I'll do In-N-Out burger just because it's an institution and I know it's real meat.
Yep.
But it doesn't taste, the cheese and all tastes kind of, you could tell it's a bit processed. I would always do it without the bun, without anything else. A couple of double doubles on my way to Mammoth. That was kind of like as bad as it got. But even that, you walk in those places like, wow, these places are flooded with people. This is how I'm eating all the time. It's nuts.
Unbelievable. It's how people rely on things. And what always just shocks me too is everyone's into the fast, everyone's into the convenient, and I understand people are busy, people are working, but boy, parents, even if you can just take a minute to pack your kids some hard-boiled eggs, cold cuts, something, or teach them how to do it even better, because what they serve in the schools, from every school I've seen, it's packaged in sugar, and it's sugars and grains and carbohydrates and just madness. You can't cook anything fresh.
Ty, you look like you're younger than me, but when I was a kid, I knew how to boil eggs when I was like 10.
Yeah.
11. I'm trying to think. I was really young. I knew, you wanted them soft, you do 3 minutes. You want them hard, you do 9 minutes. It was like, now people are, oh, my kid doesn't know how to. It's like, your kid doesn't know how to fucking boil water? Really? And all these people think their kids are special. Oh, my kid's in special groups at school.
Oh, yeah.
You know, my kid is like an A student. It's like, can't boil water, huh? Okay. No, they might burn themselves. Yeah. That's how you learn not to
There's
do it
that.
again.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah. We all have scars all over us from learning shit.
Right.
You know, come on. Let your kids boil water. Let them make an egg. I don't have time. Well, if you don't have time, you shouldn't have had kids. I hate to be that guy, but I'm that guy. Right?
That's exactly why I didn't have kids. Hi, buddy. It's because I figured you'd show up. It's because when I was at prime child age, I was in the video game industry, and a lot of us were. It was basically like a frat house that was super creative, but we worked a lot of long hours. We had no time for much of anything. I'm shocked I got married somehow. Hi, I know, sir. I know. Sorry, my dog has jumped. For those who are listening on audio, my dog has decided to join the party.
Is that a Cavalier Spaniel?
Yeah.
Cute.
He's popular in Anna's group. But yeah, and so you make the responsible decision. I'm not going to be able to do it 100%, so maybe I shouldn't do it. But it doesn't happen that way these days.
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it too. It's like I would be a horrible parent. My kid would end up, on drugs or something. Jesus Christ. Well, Ty, great chatting with you, man. Yeah, we got a couple of people to get to. So thank you for what you're doing out there. And I wish there's a way that you can help change the school system. I know it's impossible, but keep doing what you do. Right? We need good people like you out there fighting the good fight.
Thanks, buddy. I'm going to do my very, very best. And if nothing else, I'm going to help my coworkers. I mean, and that's how I look at it. And I've already helped a couple I know, turn them on to NSNG, and just let them know, like, none of this is okay. And I've changed some minds. So even one or two is fine by me. And we'll get to work. Chris and I will be in touch, and we'll get to work on this concept you have. So
yeah,
I'll do my very best.
I've already written a few notes down. I got some ideas, and we're going to roll them past your eyeballs and see what you think. Thanks, Ty. Folks, if you want to be like Ty, really healthy, you want Villa Capelli olive oil, best olive oil on the planet. Villa Capelli. Look, I can use any olive oil I want over here, but what do I use? Villa Capelli. And that's for good reason. It's a great olive oil, and it's 100% pure olive oil. You can taste it. It's got that puya pinch. If you don't get that in the back of your throat when you eat your olive oil, you don't have real olive oil. Get Villa Capelli. Look, there's other real olive oils, 100% olive oils out there, but finding it is almost impossible. People ask me on the phone calls, hey, if you weren't using Villa Capelli, what would you use? And I go, why don't you just get Villa Capelli? You're not going to get a better olive oil. You're not going to get it for a better price. If you want to save even more, put in promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, for 10% off each and every time. Villa Capelli, promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, each and every time, 10%. Chris, before we get to Maranda, I need you and Ty working on stuff really quick. We need this done.
Yep. He and I are already in contact.
Okay. You know what I'm working on. You know what I want done here. As soon as you and I finish redoing my website and putting up the new workout programs, we're going deep into this. We're going whole hog. Okay?
Sounds good.
Don't you love it when I put something else on your plate?
It's already on my plate. So if anything, we're taking something partially off of my plate, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, it's getting real because we got Ty in the house. Yeah. Yep. Chris, we have Maranda in the wings. Let's see if she's ready to come up.
Give us that thumbs up in the. Oh, there she is. Hey, Maranda.
Hi.
Oh my, she's much cuter than Ty. But that's not hard to beat. But I mean, what a beautiful woman. How are you doing, Maranda?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Great. Where are you in the world, Maranda?
I'm in St. George, Utah.
I love St. George, home of golf courses everywhere. You live on a golf course?
I do. I live by one, yes.
Yeah. I always say you're driving up to 15, you go through the hole in the wall, as I call it. You go through where they just dynamited a hill away, And then next thing you know, you're in this beautiful scape of a bunch of golf courses. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you end up there? Did you start off there or did you end up there?
We actually moved down here about 12 years ago. So we started up closer to Salt Lake City and then moved down here for my husband's work. So,
are you guys in the church over there?
we are.
Yeah. That's not a bad thing. So are you one of like 8 wives or
No,
you don't do that? Okay. Just because I know polygamy is a thing. St. George, not so much polygamy, right?
I mean, there are people around here that participate in that, but they're not related to our church. So they're a different church.
There's a few things about Utah. Number one, good luck getting a drink if you're not in Park City. For some reason, Park City, you get a drink. Everywhere else, good luck getting a drink. You can ride a motorcycle without a helmet. And so it throws you a little bit when you're there and you see guys on these Harleys, no helmet on, right? So there's that. And if you're riding a bike in Utah, a bicycle,
Be
the
careful.
guys in the 4-wheel drive trucks will come really close to you with the diesel engines and give you a rev and try to, and they're good at it. They will get the soot on you with the with the diesel trucks. They
This
know
is
how to
true.
do that.
This is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, it's a crazy place to ride a bike. It's very religious, yet they don't like cyclists.
Hey, even running. So I'm a runner and I run on the road and I get the same thing.
You get the soot, you get the diesel soot. So I'm not making that up, right?
You are not making it up.
Yeah, I used to do a race called Race Across, obviously Race Across Utah. Actually, it was called something else, but it was about a 500 or 600 mile race, not far from where you are, because we would go around, the monuments. What is it called? The Rim Canyon. What is that
And
called?
there's Zion.
Zion. Yeah, we'd circle around that, and just a beautiful thing.
Do the Grand Canyon. That's all real close here.
Yeah, but we wouldn't circle the Grand Canyon, but we would go around Zion and that whole area.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And you're on a bike for like 40 hours hallucinating, but still it's like the sunsets and everything are great. But these guys would come up on the trucks and they knew exactly how to hit the pedal and get that diesel all over you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure you didn't call to talk to us about that. How did you find us? Where are you in your whole process?
I have followed you for probably about the past 5 years, read your book, just really stayed connected to you that way. Listened to the podcasts all week. Where am I in my process? Well, I guess we all have a story, right?
Yeah.
Mine was more of a sugar addiction story and overcoming that. So there's that. Or I have a question about salt, if you want to head down that road. Or I'm very curious about your 3 top exercises for legs, particularly I'm interested in growing my hamstrings. But we can go down any of those roads, but that's kind of where I'm at.
We'll go down all 3. So first, let's start with your sugar addiction.
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about it. What was it? What was
Well,
it?
about when
Running or-
Yeah. So when I was 39, it kind of scared me because I could really eat sugar and never be satiated by it ever. It was never enough. I always
Right.
wanted more. I could eat a dozen cookies and I may not look like it. And though I was never overweight, it scared me to the point where I thought it was just a craving that I could not get past. And so I decided I'm close to 40. I really need to be able to get a handle on this. And so I did. And it took a long time and it's been a process, but I'm an abstainer though. I'm not a moderator. I have to steer clear of it.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think mine, 2 things. Because I was doing all the ultra cycling and, just look, when you ride a bike 17,000+ miles a year and you're exercising on top of that with your clients and always active, I would binge out. You know, I would, and when I talk to morbidly obese people, it's like, how do you know so much? It's like, because I was you. I just wasn't fat. I had the same problem. And I knew it had to come to an end, right? I knew it had to stop because it would rule my life. Like if I left my last client like at 10 in the evening and I was driving home and I knew I had to get on my spinner for an hour before I went to bed, because that's the kind of crazy ass schedule I had. When I think about my life and how it used to be, I can't believe I used to do what I did. I would stop anywhere. It could be like, sometimes I would go, okay, I'm going to stop at Whole Foods and get the really good chocolate. And then other times it's like, 7-Eleven is much cheaper, much quicker. I could just run it. I would buy 5 or 6 or 7 items, depending on how long my trip was home. And I would finish all of that before I got into my house. Before, I put on my cycling shorts and went right for it. I was so high on sugar. And sometimes when I got to the house, I was already getting a crash. I would squeeze honey into my mouth. Right? Just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
After a long ride on Saturdays, right? I made sure I ate a good meal full of protein and got some good fat in me, because I knew as soon as I started eating that pint of ice cream, that wasn't the end. Right. And I knew I had to get a handle on it, and never got a handle on it until I got cancer. Right. I don't think it caused cancer. It might have. Who knows? Who knows what made cancer creep in? But the addiction it's real and it's strong. And just like you said, I have trouble moderating. I was in Louisiana a couple of weeks ago. I had some ice cream and I had to say, okay, I'm having this ice cream. I have my espresso ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have my thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I just have to get away from it. So do you ever go into it at all? How do you deal with it?
I don't. I just completely stay away from it. But I'm really kind of a believer now in you crave what you eat.
Yeah.
And if I went NSNG a long time ago, but it was really hard. It took a good 6 months for those cravings to go away. And it was kind of a gradual change, kind of more of a keto route. And then I started taking out the fruits. I had to do that because the fruits still really added to the sugar cravings. So now I'm really protein heavy, meat based primarily. I'll have eggs too in there, but I just really stay away from it. And I don't crave it. It doesn't call to me anymore. It used to call from the pantry, but not anymore.
Well, good. Let's move on. Let's go from sugar to salt. You mentioned
salt. Yes. Okay. So we're talking good quality salt here. So just put that in context. I want to pick your brain. How does salt really? So I'm very active. I do a lot of running. I do a lot of weightlifting. I do a lot of walking, yoga. I try to switch it up that way. But I've noticed with salt, I'm wondering, is it good? Is it bad? I don't seem to need a lot of it, but when I do eat a lot of it, I'll carry another 5 pounds of water weight, which isn't particularly pleasant running. Is it bad to not be having it?
No, it's better to, we need salt. So I'm wondering, what type of salt are you eating? Are you getting
Redmond? Well, they'll just add it to some of my meats or eggs, but generally I can go without it for a really long time. But then I've kind of noticed that my heart rate just becomes higher. And then I thought, is this bad?
No, when you have more salt, your heart rate goes up?
No, it comes down.
Yeah. More salt is always the better way to go. Okay. Now, I'm not sure why, if you're never having salt and then you have salt, maybe your body's trying to hang on to more water, just momentarily.
And that'll level out?
Yeah, it should. Look, right. I have salt in this right now, in this bottle, right? I have 3 of my ultra salts in here, which all has Redmond real salt in it.
Yeah.
And I took another pinch of Baja salt and put in here too, right? I add salt to my electrolytes sometimes. You don't need it, but I was outside sweating hard today. Like I was a rough day outside. So I went, I want extra salt. I had Dr. Anthony J on the show. He took my, my saliva test, the DNA test. And he said to me, he goes, you eat a lot of salt, don't you? And I was like, yeah, can you tell that from my saliva? He was like, no, your DNA says that you need constant salt.
Okay.
I was like, you can tell that he goes, yeah, certain people need a lot of salt. Your DNA is probably telling you don't need as much, but I can't get enough salt in my body. Right. So I'm taking it in all the time.
Do you find that you're drinking a lot of water? Because I'll find sometimes I can't get enough water. And obviously then that depletes my ratios and I don't know.
You're in Utah. It's a dry climate. I know where you live. I know where you're exercising. Dry climates, you might not see sweat on your skin, right? But you're wicking water away from your body all the time. Your skin is constantly, every time you take a breath out, you're losing water. Every time you go outside to run or what have you, in that dry air, you are wicking water away from your body. You should be drinking water all the time, right? And not from a plastic bottle, please.
Right. No, right? I don't.
I'm on, this is going to be 40, 80. This is going to be 120 ounces today when I'm done with this. This is halfway done, right? And on top of that, I had, you can see it. I just finished the whole bottle, 16 ounces of kombucha. Coffee, the booch, a homemade booch.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm always getting more and more liquids in me, right? Because when you're going at it all the time, you need to replenish. I know I sound like a Gatorade ad here, but that's what you got to do. So yeah, try getting more salt. Once your body gets used to taking in more salt, more water, it's going to level off. Never look at a 5-pound gain of anything as a problem. And then also notice, is it happening closer to that time of the month? There's a bunch of things you can look at.
It will affect that too, which is really interesting. It really affects my hormones. So yeah. That's a good point.
More salt is always the answer. Now you said something about your legs or your hamstrings.
Hamstrings. I am wanting to grow those bad boys. I want to know like the 3 best exercises. I do a lot of RDLs, but I'm wondering just some other things that'll really tighten those up.
What's an RD? I don't know that RDL. What is that?
So when you bent over, I don't know what it stands for. But you have the weights and you hold them down to the floor and then bring them up.
Okay, so you're doing straight leg deadlifts.
Yeah, but kind of have your knee just a little bit bent, kind of feel it.
Yeah. That's still, that's a hamstring move. So the number one thing that's going to build up your hamstring is to do a compound movement. So there are a few different ways to do that. The number one is going to be leg press. Also, the number one is going to be squats.
Okay.
Now, do you work out at home or in a gym?
I'm at home. We've got a squat rack. So we've got all that set up.
Here's the deal. Some people, you get lower back problems and the whole thing. I barely ever do squats for my back anymore. I'm doing them with the belt around my waist.
Okay.
And I notice a lot of the pros and a lot of pro football players, they're going, my back is so screwed up at this point. The Rock does it that way now. A lot of us have gotten into, just putting the strap around our waist. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It takes your lower back out of it and you're able to go heavy.
Okay.
Is your rack a 4-corner rack or is it just a rack on the wall? What do you have?
It's a 4-corner one. Yeah.
Who makes it?
Rogue.
Oh, good. See if it's compatible. Rogue makes one of these, strap, squat things that you can add to your rack.
Yeah.
Not to every rack. Depends on the rack. Did you spend a lot of money on your rack? What did you guys pay for it?
We're still adding some things to it. Are you talking about adding the weights that'll kind of come down?
Yeah. You can. So you're adding to that rack. All right. So like you can add a landmine to it. You can add dips
We have a
to it.
landmine.
Yeah. You can add dips and the whole thing. Okay.
Yes.
You can also add one of these,
Okay.
right? So if you're interested in getting your hamstrings big, you need to get that. You need to do something where you can go heavy on your legs. Never do it. And this is where women run into trouble, Miranda. Never do it more than twice a week.
Okay.
When you start doing legs more, I see these young girls in the gym. There's a few of them that go to the gym in town, and you could tell that they're all looking at Instagram, and because they come in and do the Instagram moves. And
Yes.
I'm good friends with one of them, Latasha, Nikisha. Yeah, my friend Nikisha. So she's Latasha. I never know if it's Natasha, but it's Latasha. And she wants the big booty and the legs, right? All you women, nobody wants to look like Twiggy anymore. You guys want the booty and the legs.
Yeah.
And she's in there 3-4 days a week. It's like, wait, Latasha, I saw you do legs. I know. It's like, you're getting the best advice in the world from me. What should I just shut up? No, keep telling me. It's like, what? When are you going to listen? Right? Twice a week. So that's number one. Twice a week, no more, no less. Never do it 2 days in a row. So if you do it on Monday, do it on Friday. Okay.
Okay.
You want to do leg press or squats. You have to, and you need to do them heavy. That's why I'm suggesting. Go on.
Squats with the bar like on my back.
If you don't have the strap, do them with the bar on your back.
Okay.
See, with the thing around your waist, you'll be able to go heavier. That's why I'm suggesting that.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, look it up on Rogue. Don't pull up the picture. I don't want to have the extra thing, but look it up on Rogue. What does that apparatus cost to add to a rack, an existing rack?
Are you looking for their squat belt?
Yeah, it's the squat belt that you put around your waist, and there's the thing that you add to the rack, and then you can just throw your weights on it and go from there. It looks like a pretty solid setup. I looked at it like a year ago. I thought about getting it from my gym. And then I got the gym in town because they always ask me, what do we need? And I went, oh, you need this, right? And I thought I was just getting it for myself, but all those girls that want to have the big booties and the hamstring, they're using it now too. Okay. So that's number one. You want to do squats. And if you don't have that apparatus, you could do back squats.
What's heavy? I'm curious.
It might be 45 pounds. It might be 245.
Okay, because I start to lose form. I mean, the bar itself is 35, and I've been putting on, 25s.
Okay.
On each side. So what's that?
That's 85 pounds.
I start to lose form when I go super heavy.
Okay. Never sacrifice form ever. That's how you end up with a bad back.
Okay.
Right. So you see, your chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Again, that's why I like leg press. That's why I like the belt squats.
Okay.
Right? Because you're pulling your lower back out of it. That's why people like The Rock are doing it now, and all these NFL players. It's like, wait, I'm not going to hurt my back trying to get in shape to go play football, hurt my back in the gym. Right?
Yeah.
Because when you start going really heavy, that's when you start putting pressure. Look at the King, one of the strongest bodybuilders ever. They call him the King. Rodney, what was Rodney's name? Rodney, I can't think of his name. At any rate, the guy was squatting a gazillion pounds. He can barely walk. He's my age. Man can't walk anymore.
Yeah.
You mean
That's
Ronnie
why-
Coleman?
Yeah, I said Rodney. Ronnie Coleman.
Could you imagine getting a ticket from him, by the way?
Yeah, he was a cop down in Louisiana at one point.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the deal, right? That's the deal. You want to be able to go heavy all right, so let me explain what heavy means. With squats, you don't want to go to failure because failure means you're in the down position, right?
Yeah.
But you want to get as close to failure as you can. So you do a warm-up set. I always say do a warm-up set with the bar. grease the skids, get everything moving, get the synovial fluid going, right? And then do a really light set.
Okay.
Again, slowly, something where you could do 15 reps where you're not even tired when you're done. That might be a 5 or a 10 on each side of your 35-pound bar.
Okay.
Then you go to an actual set. Something where you're going to feel it. When you get to 8, you have to wonder if you're going to get to 10.
Okay.
Right? And by the way, Rogue makes these slings that you could put in your rack. So if you lose it, you could just set it down in that and crawl out from under it.
Okay. That scares me too. Yeah. I guess you can just pop it off.
Yeah.
The safety straps. I think
The
is what
safety
they're called.
strap.
Okay.
Chris, did you find that? Well, let me finish this. And all right. So then you do a heavier set where you want to get to maybe 6, 7 reps, right? And then you want to go for it to where when you're doing your 4th rep, 5th rep, you want to almost see stars, but you don't want to black out.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's what a heavy set feels like. And that's why leg press is so good, because you could go as hard as you want. When you can't go anymore, you just boom, and walk away.
Yeah.
That's why I like leg press, when you're really going for it. Right? So number 1 exercise, squats and/or leg press. Right behind that, lunges,
Okay.
right? And eventually you want to do lunges with weights. You can either put the bar on your back or you can hold the weights in your hands.
I've been doing that. I hold them in my hands. I do 25 pounds in each, and I'll hold them that way. Are you talking about just walking lunges or just?
It doesn't matter. I think it's stupid when people walk, because it's like, where are you going? It's the same thing. You're doing the same movement. Just stay there and do it.
Forward and back?
You see, again, whether you're putting the foot forward or putting the foot back, you're going down. It's just, you're doing a genuflect. You guys don't do that. Do you genuflect in your church, or is that just a Catholic thing?
It must be a Catholic thing. I haven't heard of it.
Basically, you do a lunge to God.
Okay.
God was in shape. I mean, you see Jesus up there on the cross. I mean, he looks like an Italian water polo player. God was in great shape. So that's where that is. Right. You do a lunge that, just put one leg out in front of the other. I like to do all of them on one leg, then put the other leg out, do all of them on that leg, call it a set.
Okay.
Add some weight to it, either in your hands or you can put the bar on your back.
Okay. And
then after you've done all that, now, do you have a leg curl thing at your house? Can you do?
No, but I've got some kind of a little thing that I can curl. Yeah. It's not ideal.
Okay, I'm going to give you an exercise. Chris, I need you to go look up the name of this exercise. It's called Alpine something. I just call them the Alpine move, but they call it.
Okay.
So basically, you could get your husband. You have kids?
I have one. She's
How old
16. Well, almost 16.
Okay, is she around the house?
Yes.
How much does she weigh?
About the same as me.
Okay, good. She's big enough to do it. So you get some kind of pillow and you put it under your knees.
Okay.
Okay. You get her to stay in. So you're on your knees, like you're just on your knees, right?
Okay.
You get her to hold your ankles from behind really well, like really hard.
Okay. Okay.
And then,
are you talking about a Nordic curl, Vinny?
Nordic, yeah, I call them Alpine.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I know what those are.
Okay. Now I'm going to teach you a trick. When you first do them, you won't be able to do them.
Okay.
Because they're hard as hell to do.
Okay.
Do you have any of the rubber bands from Rogue or anyone else?
Yes. We do.
Okay. All right. So what you do is you put them on each end of your rack.
Okay.
All right. And you take the one from the right side, cross it over, put it like you put it on your arm.
Yeah.
And you take the other one from the left side and put over your right arm. I call it the angel wings.
Oh, okay.
And then when you go forward, the bands are going to hold you. They're going to take some of the weight off of you so that you could go down.
Okay.
Right. If you want to, you can put a bar really low if your daughter's not around and just put a pad on the bar.
Okay.
And put some weight on that. That'll hold you too. I do mine right in my rack right here.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, if I want to do them that day and I want to go work out at the gym in town, I do those and then hop in my car because the gym is 3 minutes away.
Oh.
So I'll do them here, and then everything's in the car ready to go. Boom. So what do they call Nordic something again, Chris?
It's a Nordic curl.
Yeah, because the skiers came up with this, right? Downhill skiers and cross-country skiers came up with this exercise because the stronger they can make their hamstrings, the less chance they're going to have of causing an anterior or a posterior cruciate problem.
Okay.
Right. So now what do we have here? We have leg press or squats or both. We have lunges, and we're going to the Nordic curl.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you took water and put it on your hamstrings, you're going to see it's going to sizzle because your hamstrings are burning. Okay. Now you could do that stupid thing you see on Instagram where you take the weights, put a slight bend in your knee and go up and down.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I've seen that. Okay.
And then call it a day.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's twice a week.
Twice a week. Now, here is the other thing you can split. After you do this for a while, you can do some change up. A little something called they call it the Bulgarian split squat.
Well, yes, I'm familiar with that and do it.
Yeah. All right. So you could trade that out for the lunges. Don't do both. It's too much. It's too much work for one day. So if you're in that kind of shape, it's basically a lunge, folks. She knows what it is. Miranda knows what it is. It's a lunge that you're doing where your leg is up, and it allows you to get deeper into the butt muscle, and that will work your hamstring even more, right? I've also done a thing where I have one here and I have one at the gym. It's about 3 or 4 inches high. I'll put my front foot on that and leave my back foot on the floor and get down deeper that way. So there are different ways to skin that cat. I'm giving you the advanced stuff right now. But that's how you do that. By the way, I just gave you a couple of exercises. Well, one exercise that I don't even have in the exercises that I'm going to have in my workouts that are coming out.
Cool.
The Nordic thing. It will be in a subsequent workout down the road. If people like the workouts I'm going to have, it's going to be in that.
Cool.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So let's see. We covered salt. We covered
Sugar addiction.
And we covered hamstrings.
Hamstrings.
We good?
Yeah.
Boom. Look at me, Chris.
Thanks, Vinny.
I'm helping the people. You're welcome, Miranda. Miranda, come back early and often because I want to hear how it's going.
Okay, I will.
And you're cute, and I like talking to cute girls. So we got Scott coming up, and he ain't so cute. So
thanks, Vinny.
All right. Have a good day. Chris?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why do I call them alpine curls and everyone else calls them Nordic? I must have seen that somewhere a long time ago.
I think there is a piece of equipment for doing it, and I think there is an equipment brand Alpine, if I remember correctly. So maybe they make a machine for it.
Maybe they do. As a matter of fact, those machines are pretty good because I was using one of those when I was in Mammoth last summer when I had the cancer. They had one of those in the gym. And I was like, oh, this is kind of fancy. And I used it and I was like, oh, I got to get one of these from my gym. But I don't have a lot of space and I don't want to take up the space with that. Right. So I opted not to get it. But my setup is pretty good.
If you have a rack, it's very easy to do with a bar.
I can touch what I have. You want me to go get and show you what I have, Chris?
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Chris, do me a favor. Do a quick vitamin ad, and I'm going to go grab this. All right? We'll show it to anyone watching the video.
All right.
You're doing
so, Vinny, you wanted me to do a vitamin club ad for purevitaminclub.com?
No, I wanted you to do
purest vitamins on the planet.
No, yeah, there you go. Keep going.
Pure and count. Oh, wait. So, if you guys are wondering what Vinny takes, you see all those beautiful green bottles if you're watching us on video behind him. Those are Pure Vitamin Club vitamins. What's in them? Nothing more than what you actually need. If you're looking for something, and I know we were just talking about this with Miranda, right? You need some electrolytes, you need to stay hydrated. You want to take a look at the Pure Vitamin Club Ultra Salt. If you want to cover all your bases, Daily Multicap is there for you. And if you're somebody like me who struggles with insane muscle cramps when you don't take something, you're going to want to check out the broad spectrum magnesium over at purevitaminclub.com. Vinny, did you bring us your apparatus?
I did. I'm gonna see if I can show it in the camera here for anyone watching. So this, all right. So this, I'm gonna get closer here. This first piece, this is supposed to go through the whole rack because the piece I'm showing here, let's see if I can get it up here. It's meant to, you know, it's one of those protection things like the protection straps. But look what I did. I took one of these big giant, you know, things, and I just keep it wrapped over that. That's the part that goes over my legs. So
it's a squat pillow wrapped around a bar that
a
you just
big
peg into your
giant,
rack.
like the world's biggest squat pillow. I don't even know where it came from. You know, I have stuff that I've been having for 1,000 years. The squat pillow is too big to do squats on. Like it's too much. But I just use one of my, you know, safety catches. I put it really low in the rack. My ankles go right under it, barely. And then, you know, I just saved a ton of money and space on a piece of equipment I never have to get. Right. And you know what I use for my knees? Miranda, write this down. You get it from Rogue and it's cheap. It's the pad you use for, you know, the hip thrust. By the way, that's another good booty exercise, Miranda, if you're in the back room. The hip thrust, it's hard on one side and it's cushy on the other side. That's what goes into my knees. So you see, you're reappropriating equipment that's supposed to be for something else. And by doing that, Miranda, you can take your daughter right out of the picture and just do it. You don't have to, oh, Mom, geez, I don't want to do this. You know, it's the whole thing. You don't need your daughter when you can just use the stuff that came with your rack. So, Chris, give me a second to put this down on the floor.
Just throw it violently. It's got the world's biggest pillow on it. Just toss it.
I could. It wouldn't hurt anything. The pillow looks like a piece of those outfits that they give you like when you're training a dog to attack people. And you put that around your arm.
The bomb suit, the Michelin Man.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those. All right, we'll make that the final word. We'll see you guys next week. I want to thank Chris Shaffer for being here, as always, and our guests, Ty and Miranda. So thank you guys. Folks, you know what to do. We all go shopping on Amazon. Before you go to Amazon, please go to VinnieTortorich.com, click through the banner. It puts a little coal on the fire, gets my train down the track. We're able to keep this show free for a gazillion years in a row. We're getting ready to open up the VIP at some point really soon. So if you're really interested in being in the VIP group, please go to VinnieTortorich.com/VIP. We will see you guys next time. So on behalf of Chris, Ty, and Miranda, I am Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with enthusiasm.